Hello folks, this is Mike Sweet here coming to you guys with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about why I made a switch from the 2018 Crosstrek to the 2020 Subaru Outback. I made a switch about a year and about 3 months ago. Um, so basically, my first Subaru was my 2018 Crosstrek. Prior to that, I had a 2000 Honda Accord and I had it for a couple of years and it was getting old. So I planned on upgrading to a 2018 or 2017 Mustang GT. But then I decided to move to the Northeast and I realized that I could definitely not be driving around in a Mustang at a, basically in a winter month, so I had to find something that was more all-wheel drive and capable for the snow. And so somebody told me about a Subaru. It's like, why don't they get a Subaru, the BRX on XTI? And I was like, I don't know what that really is. I don't know what the Subaru is. But anyways, I didn't realize that the car that I actually fell in love with was the Crosstrek. I had seen the Crosstrek a few years back, and I really liked the Crosstrek, but I didn't know what it was. So finally I looked it up, and I was like, oh, that's a Crosstrek? And so my car broke down. My 2000 year, or I guess it was about 17-year-old car with 180,000 miles. It broke down. The transmission needed to be changed. So I went to the dealership and I was like, yep, I gotta get a new car. I wanted a Crosstrek. The 2018 Crosstrek had just been released a week prior or so. So the dealership only had one of the vehicles. So I tested it. It was mostly a base vehicle, so I didn't have any parts for that. I wanted a limited, so like it actually they were likely able to find me one right away. Within a couple of days, it came in, and I went and picked it up and went home. On my way home, I realized something that I hadn't even anticipated. That the power of the Crosstrek was kind of 152 horsepower, and that is slow, you know. Um, the Crosstrek is slow. It's very heavy, especially if you have the one with the bells and whistles. It makes it a little bit slower because of the weight. But going up the steep hills and mountains made it very, very difficult. Um, you could tell the car was struggling at times. It could do it, but it just struggled and took its time. And that is all right for some people, but hey, I like to go fast, so I'm like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And the car is like, give me time, give me time. Anyway, so that was one problem with the Crosstrek that I didn't like, and that was actually one of the main reasons why I made the switch. The second reason was safety. So the eyesight system from the 2020 to the 2018 is a big difference. The only way you actually notice the difference is if you have actually driven the 2018 and the 2020. You can tell there's a big difference in the eyesight system, especially with the adaptive cruise control, which now has the lane centering, which makes driving much easier and better. So I kind of heard about it, and I wanted the best up-to-date safety technology. And because I needed something with power, I thought the 2020 Outback would be a good option. The second thing was the advanced X mode, the dual X mode system, which I really, really like and I use a lot. And I feel that having that, I saw a lot of videos about foresters with the system, and I knew that Outback Onyx XT was gonna have it, so I was like, then that's what I'm gonna get, an Onyx XT, and I like the looks of it too. So basically, when Subaru came out with a 2020 Outback, they really made a nice YouTube video about the Outbacks, and then they made a video about the 2020. I really love the car. It's beautiful. It's like I never saw myself driving an Outback, but when I saw that video, I kind of started seeing myself in the Outback. So basically, that's why I went from 2020, and those were the three reasons why: the power, safety, and the advanced XMO systems, which basically is very important for me when go off-roading. Um, but even though I love my Outback, I do still miss my Crosstrek for a few reasons. The interior of the Crosstrek, especially, it has the three screens, so you have the I forget what the name we call it, but it has the three screens. It has the navigation, entertainment screen, and it has the screen that is in the center on the dashboard, but it's in the center of the dashboard. So it gives you climate information. It gives you off-roading information as well. Then it also has the smaller screen, or I guess the cockpit screen that gives you information more about how fast you're going and all those kind of stuff. The analog gauges and all those stuff. But yeah, I prefer the interior of the Crosstrek compared to the interior of the Outback. It's nice that the Outback has the big, large screen, which is nice, but I realized after I got into the Outback and I started driving the Outback that I actually don't mind having had buttons. Um, I kind of miss turning on the seat heater with just a button. Um, without having to go on the screen. I miss changing the temperature with just buttons as well. And I kind of like that about it, a Crosstrek. Also, the one thing I also miss about a Crosstrek is the size of the Crosstrek. The Crosstrek is not as big as the Outback, so it's easier to pack it in places and not even easier to pack. It's easier and less likely for somebody to hit it, um, which is a problem I always have to worry about with my Outback, especially after someone hit the side of it. So basically now whenever I pack, I have to make sure I pack away from everyone else. I have to make sure when I pack, I look around the car to make sure there's less chances of somebody hitting it. I'm making sure I'm right in the line and right. And a lot of places that I pack, I have no choice. It has to go over there. So, but otherwise, those are some of the reasons why I made a switch from the 2018 to 2020 Outback. I do plan on keeping the car for a long period of time. It does whatever I need it to do for me. Honestly, it has the capability of being a nice, fast road car. Also, capability of being comfortable when you go on long road trips, and also it's very good for off-roading activities. Oh, and I forgot to mention the nice thing about having the Outback now is you can get, and they actually Subaru has been listening to the people that have had the Outbacks 2020s and beyond about the infotainment system, and they've actually been sending out. They haven't been sending out, but you actually have to go to the dealership, or you can do it at home yourself. Update this infotainment system, which is really nice that Subaru can do that. Teslas can do that pretty much easily. I mean, you can do it. The Tesla does it itself. Um, with Subaru, you got to do a lot more to get the update, but at least you're able to do that, and you have that option to improve the car over time. So that is something that I like about Subarus now as well. But anyways, I'm happy with the car. So thanks for listening. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and have a good day. Bye bye.